Hello and welcome to Bitcoin US dollar technical analysis. So basically Bitcoin still looking very strong. As I mentioned in the last video, this trend line has been the resistance for the last couple of days. So Bitcoin oscillated a little bit around this price area, which this trend line marks. But so far has successfully left this behind. And in my opinion, Bitcoin is still on the way to at least $10,300 for the top of this currently running wave 3 of a wave 3. So I will probably have to move this over to the right, as Bitcoin cannot possibly go like this, it has to go like this. So I will have to move this around and this around, and as you can see, there are some trend lines on the way, so there's a good chance the top of this wave 3, which should be around $10,300, could maybe be around this trend line. So maybe in the next days we get a strong move up and then a little sideways movement, or maybe some movement down, but then ultimately a move towards this trend line. Hitting this trend line obviously could cause a correctional move, something along this, something like this probably, or maybe a sideways correction, I don't know yet. And probably the next move, this following wave 5, will touch this trend line. So those are the next targets in my opinion. One is at around $10,700 even, and the other one at around 12,200 approximately. Of course, we will have to wait and see how long this takes. So if this takes longer, those targets could change a little bit, but overall, if Bitcoin does not fall below this trend line again, there's a very, very good chance that Bitcoin goes up to, as I mentioned, at least $10,300. That's necessary for this to be a wave 3, and hopefully higher. So if you're interested in the target determination, so you take the low and the high and go to the bottom of this wave 2. If you haven't watched the previous videos, this typically following a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 impulsive move in Elliott wave, you get an ABC correctional move, which usually stops around the area of the low of the previous wave 4, which we perfectly got here. Sometimes you get another move up and another correctional move down, maybe a little bit lower, something like here, and maybe it stops at the low again and then goes up. But if this happens, it's always very nice, and this is always a turning point to be anticipated in price movements. And Bitcoin even started from this preferred turning point, a move up, and broke basically all the major and important trend lines and defended all the trend lines that previously blocked Bitcoin from gaining any momentum to the upside. And so right now this wave 3 has to touch this 1.618 extension, which is around $10,260. So typically those extensions do not only get touched but overshot a little bit. So from this point of view, it would be very fitting if Bitcoin touched this trend line, which, judging by the price movement and factoring in the time factor, there's a good possibility that we get a price target at around $10,750 approximately before the next major correctional move. This correctional move, however, should not go below this high, which is around 8,470 approximately. So this correction move can go low as this and still go up and meet this price target, but probably it should stop somewhere around here, maybe here. That's also fine, which is the previous 100% extension. But first of all, we have to wait for this wave to finish, and in my opinion, this trend line is also a very good resistance, and or a very strong resistance, and so there's a good chance that Bitcoin bounces off here again. This 4 may not go as low as this, but rather go sideways like this, and from there up, and then up to the next trend line, maybe around $16,000. And yeah, of course, following this, this is just the smaller time frame. I will just remove this. Okay, so following this, we are currently, I will just switch to the daily chart for the moment. So we are currently in this very, very long wave 3. So basically we had all the way from December 2018, we had this wave 1 spike, a correction in wave 2, which in itself should form another wave 3 with my projected target at around $24,000. In my opinion, a very realistic target. Following this a correctional wave, maybe back to the 16,000 region, which looks pretty nice, judging by the fact that this wave might stop there and bounce off and then correct back up again. So this would be very nice and fitting, but we will have to see about this. It's probably a couple of weeks away, this target up here. And yeah, following this, obviously my next midterm target at around $34,000. So this is my minimum target for Bitcoin, and what I aim for in 2020, basically, maybe in the summer of 2020 or something. And yeah, following this, a correctional move back down again, maybe to the 20,000 region, lower 20,000, and from this another move up to around 50,000. Yeah, so we will have to see how far Bitcoin actually goes, but I mean, judging by the severity of previous moves, there's obviously the possibility of Bitcoin going towards price ranges above $30,000 within a couple of months or weeks, maybe even higher. So it's, who knows? I mean, Bitcoin is very volatile and has a lot in store for everyone. But yeah, in the end, my personal target for this major overarching upwards move is around 33 to 35 or 30 to $35,000, something like this. Once those patterns finish, we can project more detailed targets, but yeah, in my opinion, this is the minimum target for 2020 and should mark the high. This following correction move could take very long and maybe even well into 2021, and from there, from I don't know, about $20,000 to $24,000 or something, start the next upwards move to around $50,000 or even higher. So yeah, Bitcoin as usual exciting, and as I said, short term, it's very important that Bitcoin does not fall back below this trend line and stays strong above it, which it so far has done, and it has been bought. That's very important. And yeah, in my opinion, the next target's somewhere in between $10,300 as approximately the minimum target, or $10,260. And my preferred target at the moment around $10,700 for the next overarching move, and yeah, following this, the next larger correctional pattern. Okay, so thank you very much for watching, and see you soon.